Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War livestream, campaign 23, week 8. So today, of course, we got a pretty free week this week, and honestly it's a pretty good one. Of course, we got the event calendar, we finally got that. Haven't actually gone over on stream yet, but here it is. Of course, we covered a video earlier today going over it in full, but as far as the highlights, this week we have a Mythic and a Vault weekend at the same time. I'm not sure if they're going to keep it coinciding like they have been, or like they are now, but this would be great if they do. Because Vault event being at the same time in the Mythic allows you to actually grind for the Mythic. Of course, you still could through other means, but during a Vault event weekend, it is a lot more realistic to actually grind for the Mythic, as if you actually grind it out for, you know, like several hours a day, or even just a couple hours a day, during a Vault weekend, you could technically, even if you have no resources at all, farm the Mythic during the, you know, weekend. So, yeah, that's a nice little change. As far as how it's going now, I'm not sure if they're going to keep it like this, but at least this month and next month, it is both a Mythic and Vault weekend at the same time. So there is a direct path to actually farm for it. Beyond that, other two big things is the summer event starting on the 16th. That we're bringing in, you know, the standard legendary, new pet for, all that kind of stuff, as well as the summer armor returning. And beyond that, Guild Wars is also on that weekend of the first one that it ends up coming out on. It starts on that Thursday there on the 19th. And it is a dwarf restriction, which one other thing that they did, which I'm not sure if they're going to start doing this as well, because there was a bit of an issue with the previous Guild War. There wasn't really a way to target the 50% mana start for Centaurs. However, they didn't make the mistake this time around. We have a K0 event week before the Guild Wars, and this is relevant because the most useful dwarf is a 50% mana start dwarf from K0. So yeah, you'll be able to get that before the dwarf restriction for Guild War the following week. So if you happen to not have it, you would just have to throw some event keys on the previous week on before the Guild Wars. So hopefully they start doing that as well going forward, as it allows to actually target what the, you know, viable troop is. Also, do you guys see all those numbers in chat, by the way? Like in the one that you guys see? Apparently, it's some kind of new thing that YouTube just did. What is this? Community tab? What is this? You guys got EXP bars now. All of you got EXP bars. What is this? What's this question mark do? I'm scared to click it. What's it gonna do? I feel like it's gonna open up like something. But, yeah, some kind of new thing on YouTube. I guess they did it this weekend or today? I have no clue. But some kind of update by YouTube. We got a chat leaderboard now. Honestly, YouTube just copies every feature from Twitch like 5 to 10 years after the fact. But anyways. But yeah, that's a thing now, apparently. Anyways, what are we doing? Let's go and start clearing out everything. Actually, you know what? Let's start with the invasion event. So invasion is goblins. Goblins are such a free category as far as how strong they are. Oh, I didn't actually paste any of the teams in here. But it is a very, very, very free category. Do I want to run this? The problem is we don't have access to any Empower or anything. Which is probably the most awkward thing about this current event. No access to Empower is kind of slow. Well, for the earlier fights, I only really need a quick kill option. So let me put this on my copy-paste, but replace the team for something that's like AoE quick spam or something. Because the only thing we need early on is just AoE them down immediately. So this is probably a truffle angle where we go like truffle, have to keep this guy. But also I don't normally show these ones for the video. I probably should start doing this when there's like a section of a battle where you would use something drastically different. Because for the really early fights of this battle, these battles, the only thing you really care about is killing everything simultaneously really quick. As yeah, it's the only objective you really need to get down. So for these earlier fights, do I go string here or truffle? You know what, just doubling truffle is probably fine. But yeah, for the earlier fights, I think this is the way. Honestly, I'm just gonna put Wanded first slot. We don't really need the tower killer there. Alright, we're just gonna roll this initially. Extra purple, sure, why not? They're not gonna have submerge or anything. We'll just do that into like double green or something. Even green brown would be great. Oops, wrong thing. Also wrong thing, I want banner. Green, brown, banner. Ideally with not minus purple. Minus red? Sure, why not? That's not it. Minus red, plus 2... Oh, no, I want plus 2 green. Give me that one. The Amethyrax one, the one from his own kingdom. Alright, that should work out. And then we just rush up wand through either purple, green, or brown. Cast it, do the truffles, win, repeat until we have gotten to the point where it gets to like 4 towers where the other team will be relevant. But for the earlier fights prior to 4 towers, this is probably what we mostly run then. Just a truffle quick kill. Just make sure you run the guy because you do need double score when you kill a tower. So do not forget to still use the cannon guy even if you're not using the cannon guy, as you still need him for the double points. Anyways, hello everyone. Didn't say hello was. Hello Nightmare. Hello Chad. Hello Stacy. Hello MK Jets. Hello Diana. Hello, Cookie. Hello, Ron. And hello, everyone else. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, does this EXP count towards Gems of War level? I wished. I don't know. Is there any way to cash it out? Do you guys have like a new thing that you could use them on? Because I know Twitch kind of has like a feature like that where you earn like slowly points over time, and then there's like a bunch of emotes or stuff you could use for them, or highlighted comments or whatever they have for it. I'm not sure if that's what YouTube has implemented. I don't see something like that. I just see an EXP leaderboard. I'm not sure what's giving it though, as far as what's giving EXP. But I'm not sure how it works. I didn't know it was even a thing until I clicked like the start stream button and I started seeing like a bunch of crowns next to everyone. They have not the slightest clue how it works. Well, they added something. I said, hello, yeah! Welcome, welcome. But yeah, overall, every single event this week is pretty free. Because we have Goblin for Invasion, and we have Zejin for Underspire. And Zejin, of course, still has Truffle, it has Iron Gut, it has Fairy Godmother if you want to mana accumulate that way. Has like 20 different infinite loop teams, depending on what version you want to run. Also, great week to be throwing event keys, by the way. If you're missing any of the core stuff from Goblins, really, really great time to be throwing event keys. As there's pretty much no bad drops in all of Zejin. Some are better than others, but there is nothing bad, pretty much. Like, anything you get, you'll pretty much be happy with, as long as it's, you know, upgrading them towards Mythic and everything. But yeah, really, really great for that. Also, I believe we have since maxed out Zejin, too, so we actually have a better team bonus this week compared to normal. Sending a live chat or stickers or super chat gives you EXP. Breakdown, not sure. Interesting. Wonder how long of far back it's been tracking. It doesn't seem like it goes that far back. It's definitely not like a lifetime. Otherwise, it would be drastically different. Interesting. Maybe it's like last week or last month or last whatever. It resets every stream? Oh. Interesting. So it's like a per stream thingy. So basically, it's like a feature that YouTube did to try to farm engagement. I think I understand now. They're trying to engagement farm. So that every single stream there's like a leaderboard for chat to engage with the stream. That's kind of funny. I'm not sure if there's a way to disable it, but honestly, I might just keep it enabled. As long as you guys don't find it annoying. It feels weird because the crown just keeps like going onto random people's names. It just keeps shifting like every few seconds or every few minutes. If someone just chats a bunch in the chat. Hello, Chris. Welcome, welcome. Hope all's been good. Honestly, my sleep schedule has been all over the place. My sleep schedule has been so bad lately. What's the benefit of Archmage's class for this team? +3 purple. The main thing that's interesting about Archmage's class is it has the highest amount of mana start of any hero class in the game. Not only does it have a 50% mana start, which of course quite a few hero classes have, but it has a 50% mana start with +3 into a color, specifically purple. There is not any other hero class in the game that does that, so whenever you want mana momentum, and you don't need any other effects like Dispel or Stun or, you know, anything else on any other hero class, Archmage's can be a good angle to go down, as long as you're using purple mana, as it has the highest amount of mana lead of any hero class in the game, giving you 50% mana start and +3 to a color. The closest thing we have is Corsair, but the problem is, unless you have like a rogue 50% mana start, actually, does that even exist? But unless you, it doesn't naturally have a 50% mana start, whereas Archmage's does, even though there are only 2 hero classes with +3 into a color. So normally you just go down the Archmage's route, as you can use it with anything, and it'll still have 50% mana start and the +3 purple. But yeah, it's mostly just if you care about casting quickly, which if your team doesn't have as much mana accumulation options, can be a good way to go. The only big downside of that is we still have to deal with Submerged Gem, and this team has no way to deal with Submerged Gem, as the towers get immune to Curse, so we can't actually curse off the Submerge from the towers. That's the only thing I could see being a really big issue if we kept using this, which is why we're going to be switching to team once we get to 4 towers. This is mostly just for the earlier fights, where we're going to be winning quick enough that they're likely not going to Submerge from the Submerged Gem. But it's going to be a big liability later on, so we do actually have to change a team later. You could technically run this the whole time, but it's going to be a really big issue if they gain Submerged Gem, because this team has no counter to it. The easiest way to fix that would be to change our hero class to Mech, as that would give us 50% mana start and Dispel, but it would come at the cost of not having +3 purple. Hello, Zedicus! Welcome, welcome! Switch 2? Oh yeah, when is the Switch 2 coming out? I was considering getting that immediately, and then decided not to. I think I'm going back to plan A, now that the tariffs seem mostly off, or whatever on Earth is going on, I have no clue. But the original plan was to wait closer to the holidays, and I think that's still my plan. I don't think I'm getting the Switch 2 immediately. The other issue is there's just not a lot of games I would want to play, like, at launch. Like, aside from, what's it called? Aside from Mario Kart, I don't think there's a single thing in the first, like, 5 months of launch that I would want to play other than Mario Kart. So I'm probably just going to hold out a little bit. Like, when it came to the original Switch, I waited all the way until Smash came out, like, 2 years later. As it was the first game where it was like, oh, I have to play it. Like an absolute 100% have to play game. And Switch 2 isn't coming out with any launch title that's like that. Like, yeah, I do eventually want to play Mario Kart, but it's not one of those games where it's like, oh, I gotta play it like the exact second it comes out. So I'm just gonna be waiting on it a little. Oh, does it come out on Thursday? Nice. Yeah, I'll be holding out for at least a couple months. But yeah, we'll eventually be getting it. It's more so a matter of when and if. I just feel like it's just going to be scalped like crazy initially. And the headache of trying to get it within the first month just seems too much to deal with. I don't want to have to deal with like pre-orders and stuff like that, in case there's some kind of issue with them or something. You're glad that the calendar was wrong for 2 Grimwoods in a row? Oh yeah, I never thought we were going to get double in a row. That has never actually happened before. Which I'm actually surprised it hasn't happened to some smaller kingdoms, though. Like, I think the closest we've ever had an event back-to-back was like a 2 or 3 week separation or something. They have never, like, literally back-to-back week done an event week. Even if it was for a kingdom that's like a billion miles behind, they still have never done it. Like Volpecia having like a double event or something could be something that would be useful, because it is one of several kingdoms that is so far behind, especially Nightmare Kingdom. That one, I almost keep forgetting even exists because it has had so few events since it came out. It was the most recent kingdom added to the game, and it is so far behind compared to any other kingdom. Yet I feel like it's only been getting like 1 event a year. Have I tried the Daemon Immortal? It seems powerful. It's pretty average. Unless I misread it. It seems really average. Like, it's not bad. The main premise of it is actually very similar to the Glacia one we got initially, where its basic premise is as long as the enemy doesn't have any barrier or revive, you just cast it and it one-shots the entire enemy team. It's basically full AoE damage, except it has the caveat of hitting in 4 independent hits. So that's technically better than AoE, because it's basically AoE damage that can concentrate onto a single enemy if it has to. But its ability is basically full AoE true damage, but it gets to concentrate its damage if there are less than 4 targets. So yeah, it's not bad. I didn't feel like it was like over the top good. But it's very similar to Glacia from Season 1. And we're on, what, Season 5 right now for PvP? Yeah, it's very similar to Glacia. I won't be buying it like we did for Season 1, though. I don't believe the area you get to use it for is as useful. I forget which one it was, but I don't believe it was as useful of a location to end up having it for. Oh yeah, codes. I haven't handed out a single code. Do I even have code section open right now? Hey, we're almost up to May codes. We're gonna get to May codes today. Oh, you know what I got yesterday, by the way? We got another perfect dungeon, finally. Feels like we've gone a little while without one. But last night I actually got perfect dungeon when doing Diamond Day. And it was a perfect too. We even got the resource drop of extra diamonds on top of the 120 Dragonite. It wasn't the top 3 though. It was top 3 and then the 4th one. You miss Salty? Yeah, Salty's been gone for a while now. We have Jetto though. Jetto's been doing good. Jetto's been the main community manager since then. There's a few other roles that people that kind of offset it as well. But Jetto's been the main community manager since Salty. She doesn't do live streams and everything though, but she, you know, she's still been around in the community and everything. I do hope the next big feature that they're going to be adding somewhat soonish though, which I believe might actually even be next patch. I really hope they do preview videos for it again. Because I like when they've been doing those preview videos. They stopped doing it for a while, but then they started kind of doing it again. I really hope they do for the next really big feature we have. As it's probably going to be the most meta-changing feature that we're going to get, honestly, probably ever at this point. Definitely in recent times, but potentially for the rest of time, it might actually be the most meta-changing feature that they ever add. As it seems like a passive buff system that you can set to teams to try to counter out some of the main core mechanics in the game. Most notably extra turn spam. Because that would drastically change how you build a team. Is if every single time you take a turn, you will auto end your turn regardless of what the ability is. As well as whatever other features they end up adding to it as options. But just that one alone is so big of a change. It'd be rare that you would use it, but of course, defending in Guild War, I guess, would be one of the main times it would come up. Offensively, you would probably want to use the other ones that are actually more beneficial, though. Whatever they end up ultimately doing for it. But I believe that feature was supposed to come late this summer. Or at least sometime this year. So hello, Tyrion. Out by lurking. All good, all good. Also, thank you for the help with the thing last weekend as well. Greatly appreciated. Oh no, a pure miss wand. We need to go change this team to a real team soon. Might even already have been time to have done that. Am I going to complete out Underspire this week? Oh yeah, I'm definitely doing Underspire this week. I did it last week as well. And I'm doing it this week as well. But yeah, it's really good value to do Underspire this week. But yeah, it's pretty free with goblins. I feel like starting mana is going to be kind of annoying. But the second you get it started, you just spam truffle until you win. Or whatever other route you want to do. Like, you're going to have to spend like 2 or 3 turns getting it rolling, but regardless of what goblin team you run, the second you get it rolling, you just auto-win every battle. Oh, we already did all of our battles today. Oh, there we go. You know what keeps throwing me off? Is, remember when this used to be like a weekend event for some short duration? I keep thinking it has like that kind of scaling, but now that they made it back into a weekly, because originally it was a weekly, but then they made it into a weekend event, but then they made it back into a weekly. But for whatever reason, I still perceive it as like the weekend event value, where your day 1 battles are enough to get all the way to like stage 8. But you can't do that anymore. it kind of stops slightly before then. I do prefer it as a weekly though. But I'm still kind of used to the scaling that it was when it was weekend event. Let's go ahead and add another code. Also, why is my mic like so in the way today? There we go. But yeah, we are 100% doing all of Underspire this week. Alright, there we go. It's one of the freer weeks you can ever have. Even in early game, because it's just really easy to do. Let's go take out dailies. We gotta go do PvP anyways for our other daily, which is good because we're gonna do that regardless. Let's just grab our keys. Nice, 4 gem keys and a few other things. Let's get back to Flower Dragon. Clear out all the quick kills with that. And then we'll probably head over to PvP next. Which of course, second week of the new season, so still important to try to hit 20k. I accidentally didn't do the double dip last week though. I didn't get my extra 1,000. Because whenever you claim it for the second to last reward, it gives you 1,000, but then gives you 1,000 again. It's a weird glitch/feature that's been in the game since the mechanic has been in the game. And I didn't end up claiming the extra 1,000 last week because I accidentally overkilled my PvP points. I was just like mindlessly doing it for half an hour, and then I realized after the fact, it's like, oh no, I overshot it. Whoops. Which ironically made it so we got less overall points. But yeah, sometime later this week, probably with the Vault event weekend, I need to go aim for 20,000 points so we can start opening our deed books again. Obviously, it's not too big a deal whenever we get around to the deed books. We can just throw them down in a few days in a row or a few streams in a row. But, yeah, I still want my deed book access again. Because every time a new PvP season starts, you have to re-earn your 20,000 points. And I think we're only at like 8,000, 9,000 right now. So we need to get like another 10,000, 11,000 this week. But with Vault event weekend, that should be pretty free. Alright, all that has been cleared. Dailies, check. PvP will get done once we get there. Everything here, we'll have that in a moment. Invasion, we already literally just did. Underspire will be going to you soon. Let's go to dungeon. Come on, 2 perfect days in a row. Come on. Come on, that's still a good one. Come on. Oh, we get to play Guess the Door. Up. Yes, that door. It's time. Which door is it? 4, 5, or 6? If we get it correct, that'll be 2 perfects in a row. As I did get one off stream yesterday. Let's see what we get here. Yesterday was 4. So we'll see if it does it 2 days in a row. Because if so, that means I basically had the same layout 2 days in a row, which would be kind of funny. I'm not sure if I ever have before. Like the exact same layout twice, back to back like that. Though I do believe the buff room is in a slightly different location. I'm pretty sure the buff room was here yesterday, or here. I don't think it was in middle. I probably will be going 4. Plus the poll's winning for 4 right now anyways. Well, we'll see where it is once we get there. Yeah, 4 is going down, but it's still winning. 6 is in dead last, which means if it's not 4, it's 100% 6. Oh no, it could be T-shaped too. But we'll go with 4. Come on, 2 days in a row. No, it was 6. No, it was the T-shape. The 5s got it. Oh, the 5s are actually starting to make a comeback near the end too. It was the T-shape. And as Ron mentioned, definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps a lot and is greatly appreciated. If you guys have any questions or anything you want me to go over, do let me know. But at this point, after this, we'll go clear out PvP. And then probably Underspire. And then I would say we would open any Vault keys we have left. But I only have 1 Vault key right now, so I must open it now. I actually already cleared all my Vault keys the other week. So we actually don't have any to open other than the one that we got from, I have no clue what, but something. These are from whatever the guild-related event was last week or something. Not sure where this 1 key came from. But we get nothing. 18 event keys. I was opening some during the video earlier, so I guess that makes up some of the keys we were opening. But there we go. Oh, we got our campaign done. Oh yeah, also don't forget there's a new quest to go do too. Or not quest, achievement. One of the achievements was to finish all tasks in a given campaign. So, yeah, that'll be doable in 2 weeks from today. Not next week, but the following week will be the first time that you can do that achievement. Because they have fixed those achievements since then, like the enchant gem one. They weren't working, like, at launch. But they are working now. So if we go check them. There's 2 new achievements. One was to match 100 enchant gems, which if you have that 1 troop from the spring event, was pretty free since it just spam creates enchant gems. But, yeah, you have to fully complete 2 tasks within, basically, you basically have to just complete the campaign. Like, all 10 tasks for 2 of them. Which if you're doing it for 2, obviously you're doing it for 3. But, yeah, that should be doable as of 2 weeks from today. Not next week, but the following Monday. And then the only other 2 I don't have done are basically the paywall ones. Where this one I don't have done because I haven't opened my shiny keys. And this one I don't have done because you basically have to buy the PvP passes or we're getting absurdly lucky. But we'll get it in time. We're almost there. Give it like 2 more PvP seasons, we'll have it for sure. Anyways, what are we doing? Speaking of PvP, let's go to PvP. We're just talking about it. We gotta go do Glacial Peaks or Bright Forest. Okay, definitely Glacial Peaks, because isn't that Mortal from Glacial Peaks too? So we gotta check a Glacial Peaks bonus on top of her, as if she didn't already have enough damage. Alright, base rarity. That's not base rarity. Base rarity. Base rarity. Alright, there we go. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for Immortal Glacia, which we'd be able to use here regardless, but she also is from Glacial Peaks, oddly enough. Give me the Empower for what's it called? Because I know we have an Empower here. And then it just comes down to Wand of Stars plus like 1 offset option. Which, oh wait! Oh no, we gotta use Glacial Peaks weapon though. Ooh, okay, maybe I drop Hero then. And what do we have for Explodey weapon? Do we have like Explodey weapon that doesn't block her? This one doesn't. Explode blue gems, grant a random stats effect to all Glacial Peaks troops and summon a Glacial Peaks troop. Yeah, we'll go with that, I guess. And then the only other thing we need, so this covers every color, so at this point it's basically just get more color on, I guess, Link to blue. Convert 3 purple, steal a bunch of gold, drain some mana, do nothing, yellow mana. I guess we do this. We can always kill a boss with it, or if nothing else. Alright, I think that's the team then. And then banner is, actually I must go Frost Mage, let's go all out. If we're gonna do this, we might as well go for the full package. Bring out Frost Mage for the 4 times Glacial Peak. And then change banner to... also, didn't we bother to max Glacial Peak at some point earlier? I think we did. What's the minus brown banner here? I want +2 blue into whatever we can get. Yeah, give me like yellow. The other option, I guess, would be green for the weapon, but let's go yellow. Alright, that should be fine. Yeah, what's our team bonus for this? We're getting... Wow, that's a lot of magic. Wow! 22 magic? Oh, that is so much damage. A lot of armor, too, which means the enemy team won't gain that much of a benefit. Because Immortal Glacia hits true damage, like pretty much every Immortal. So we don't need to worry about all the extra armor value that they might be having from a pure Glacial Peaks team. Yeah, 22 extra magic. That's not a small amount. That's pretty solid. That is a decent set of magic there. And I always get her to full mana and then just click pretty much the auto win button. Even if they have barrier or something, we still get to pretty much auto win. Because she has 5 hits. I'll take that. Get her explode and that should be match. Just click the win button. Ooh, a little bit less than full damage though. Not ideal. Alright, we have red to blue, otherwise we just explode every blue on the board. Nice, we have the big giant gems too, so whenever we do that, we should be gaining full mana on Immortal Glacia. Alright, 1 down. 5 to go. Yeah, if we take a weak enough battle, we should be able to go and one-shot all of them. And even be able to one-shot the resummon as well. Yeah, the strip is very similar to the current Immortal we have, except she hits in 5 pokes instead of 4. But the 5 pokes she does are slightly smaller. But it allows her to instantly kill the resummon if they have a resummon. As well as the bypass barrier if they have a barrier. Unfortunately, I need their stats to be a little bit lower than that. Oh, no, never mind. That's enough damage. They have a lot of stats, but the extra magic is carrying pretty hard. Yeah, 22 magic goes a long way. She doesn't scale 1-to-1 based on magic, but she still scales pretty nicely off of it. It's not 1-to-1, but still pretty high for how much damage she does, especially with double. Because, of course, we are getting double damage from the area. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be using her. So honestly, even in the context of this team, compared to other options we have, even if it wasn't for the double damage, we'd probably still be running her. We would just have to double cast her instead of single. And right there, it didn't do enough damage, probably because of spell reduction or something, but because of the 5th hit. Still get the cleanup on it. Same as if there's barrier or something. Hey, do we have red to blue? Yeah. Finally, I feel like we've gotten no power alignment this whole time. But there we go. Fortunately, not enough damage, though. We'll just get our weapon to full and just click it and we should be good. Nice. The Cascade of Mana gave us full there. And the Cascade gave us full Glacia. And I always click that, and that should be match. What's this thing to true damage? The only problem with Glacia in this place, like from an outside of this area perspective, is I don't believe Glacial Peaks has any true damage poke to synergize with Immortal Glacia. That's something they should consider adding down the line. Like something that uses blue and some other colors. Actually, maybe at least blue, while having true damage in this kingdom. Because I don't think she has synergy for that. Because she's immortal, so she just like by default pretty much has true damage. But there's no true damage to go with her true damage. At least not blue. This thing does have true damage, but it's not blue, so it doesn't count. There is one, I guess, technically. It's not a good troop, though. But it doesn't even use blue. Yeah, I don't think the mechanic exists here. There's like one thing that does it, but it doesn't cover the right color. It needs to be blue plus anything else. Doesn't matter what the anything else is, but it has to include blue. But there's nothing in Glacial Peaks that is both blue and true damage. Other than herself. But because you can't double up on her, you need at least one other troop to make it work. But Glacial Peaks currently doesn't have that one other troop at the moment. So hopefully that's something they add down the line. Is it would help out or a lot outside of the context of a PvP battle? That's the main thing holding Glacial Glacia back, or Immortal Glacia. It's just the lack of true damage synergy within our own kingdom. Alright, let's go get the double buff here. Hello, Anderson! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope all's been well. Oh, so they've been putting Flower Dragon in middle here a lot recently. I feel like it's almost always in the central area here. I should probably start taking my magic in a different location. Because ever since Flower Dragon came in like a couple months ago, is made center here so much harder. The only reason I haven't cured too much is because we also get to use Flower Dragon. So it kind of balances out. Yes, the enemy has something absurdly powerful, but we also get to use the same thing, so... kind of balances out in the end. The problem is if it gets lucky early on and just destroys you. Is depending on your stats, it can 1 to 2 shot you on the final fight. Potentially one-shotting. You been working as a teacher lately? Nice. So been playing Gems of War on this side. Oh no, Gems of War is just a nice chill, just pick up whenever kind of game. It's one thing that's pretty nice about it. Alright, we're good to go there. What was the other thing we needed? Oh yeah, the other magic buff, just so we can claim the points from it. Hello, Bill! Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've always been well. Oh, Bill Warhammer already farming the new engagement system. With the natural post he would always make. He took rank 3 already. I feel like that system is so exploitable. But yeah, YouTube must really be wanting to increase their engagement numbers for some kind of yearly earning report or something. Because that seems like the most engagement farming mechanic they have ever added in the history of YouTube. Like a chat leaderboard per stream. Yeah, we've been streaming Gems of War every single Monday lately. We've cut back a little bit as far as stream times. Though I will be streaming every single day this weekend for Vault Event weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll be bringing back the daily streams again for that. I'm a little bit busy on Saturday, so it might be a little bit later than 8. I think it should still be at 8, though. But, yeah, we will be streaming every day for the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every day of Vault Event weekend grind. Because I really want to go do the Explore 12 grind I've been putting off for, like, months now. Technically for years, because we've been focusing on so many other pieces of content. But we're finally at the point where we really need to go upgrade those kingdoms already. Like, they've been upgradable for so long, and I just haven't been doing it, so... We're gonna finally farm it during the Vault weekend, because if there's any time to farm it, it should be Vault weekend. I've just been waiting for the next one, and it's finally here this weekend. So that'll be the game plan once it rolls around. Okay, is that the only other daily I need to go do? I think the only thing is just do PvP Center. Well, then Underspire, but we'll get to that next. I always save Underspire for last. Actually, I finished Underspire, like, all the way at the end. I was doing it last night before I did the, making up the teams for the video. But then I ended up grabbing some sleep because I was just so tired. But, yeah, I did it last night at, like, almost midnight. I did the entirety of a full Underspire, like 100% completion. It took, like, a little over an hour. The new top tier Dragonite better. Is it better than Stellaryx? Yes and no. It's situationally better than Stellaryx. It has a lot of positives and a lot of negatives compared to it. They're both really, really good and pretty much usable interchangeably, though. The main benefit to the Flower Dragon is, it's a lot more consistent because it explodes rather than putting gems on the board. So you're always getting some guarantee amount of mana accumulation as long as there are skulls on the board. It's also a lot more predictable if you really want to keep track of where the board state is, as it will explode all the gems on the board, or all the skulls on the board, so you already know exactly where every explode is going to go. Whereas with Stellaryx, you have no clue where the stars that's going to put on the board are going to go. So it's a lot more consistent at knowing what it's going to do, as well as giving guaranteed value, as long as there's assumably at least some amount of skull on the board. But the biggest downside is it has a 2 lower mana cost. But it does get to have a slightly higher damage max hit because of it. The other big downside of Flower Dragon, even though it has a lot of upsides, it is very squishy compared to Stellaryx. Stellaryx has like 55% spell reduction and like 25-30% score reduction or something. Whereas this thing only has 25% spell and 0 score reduction at all. So it is really flimsy compared to Stellaryx, comparatively. So it's a lot easier for Flower Dragon to die, but it does more damage while it's alive. So hello, Lester. Welcome, welcome. But basically, if you own Stellaryx, there isn't necessarily a need to get Flower Dragon. Like, it's nice to have, but it's not really, like, required. Like, you can easily live only having one or the other. If you want to work towards both, it's definitely fine. But, yeah, they're both pretty interchangeable. Like, aside from a few niche restrictions and stuff, you could use them almost purely interchangeably in any team. Like, any team where one will work, the other one will generally work as well. Yeah, I've mostly just been using Flower Dragon recently just because it's newer. The main area, oddly enough, for Stellaryx is a little bit better. Not defensively in Guild War because it gets replaced. But if you can use it somewhere offensively in Guild War, it's a little bit better. Because unlike Flower Dragon, it has a good chance of surviving longer. With the extra spell reduction that it has will go a long way in that game mode. Alright, we did all that, we did all that. I think the only thing we have left now is Underspire. And of course, we are doing full Underspire completion, so let me go get our double torch. I don't think I have my team pasted here yet, so let me go double check. No, we do not. Okay, let's go get our Goblin team. I might use a slightly different one for the really early fights as well. What did I show for the video? I showed Infinite Loop with Insta-Kill, and I showed the old meta team from like 2017, 2018. Honestly, I might just go down this route and just rush Truffle. I think I'm going the old meta team. Slightly for nostalgia's sake, but also because it gets rolling quicker. The other one's good once we get deep enough where it would matter. But we're not deep enough yet for Insta-Kill to matter at all. So we're just going to roll with this. We're way too early on in Underspire to run insta-kill. We wouldn't want to bring that out until like floor 4, so maybe floor 3. But floor 4 is about the earliest we'd want to bring it out. 5 and 6 will 100% need it for. But floor 3 and below, we should be fine just running a team like this. Alright, grab our lantern. Hello, Lester, by the way, if I didn't already say hello earlier. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alright, what do we need here? Grab all that. Get our mana we need. Get rid of those submerged things so they don't go crazy on us. Oh yeah, there's something else that's nice. We're using Thief Hero class right now. I was wondering what killed it for a second. But every time we take an extra turn, it does 7 damage the last slot. Which normally isn't that much, but you know, it can kind of poke something down. The more important thing about Thief class is the insta-kill it has on last slot potential. Whenever you get a kill, there's a chance you get another kill. There's a few hero classes that have this perk. Or Rising Shadow, the final perk on it, where whenever you get a kill, there's a small chance you get a kill. And that kill can also trigger a kill. So your 7% chance to insta-kill can also trigger a 7% chance to insta-kill, which could trigger a 7% chance to insta-kill. And there is a very rare circumstance, which I've never gotten, by the way. I've gotten the triple kill, but never the quad. Or I don't think I've ever gotten the quad. I can't remember. It's been a while. I haven't really used the hero class perk that often. But it is technically possible to roll 3 7%, the lucky 777, and insta-kill the entire enemy team with 1 single kill. It is exceedingly rare. Whatever 3 7% is, I can't do the math on that in my head. But it is technically possible to insta-kill an entire enemy team with 1 kill with this hero class, or similar ones to this. It is very rare, though. We've gotten to triple kill quite a few times, though. I don't think I've ever gotten the quad kill off of 1 kill. And lately, I just don't really use the hero class type that often. I really wish they would add a hero class that's actually viable with it. It's not the ones that exist are bad, it's just there's so many other good utilities these days that you don't tend to run the ones that have Rising Shadow. But it's one of those really fun perks where if it triggers, it's so much value. On an average fight, it's going to do literally nothing. But when it does do something, it does like auto-win. It's one of those that's really high impact, but very rare when it occurs. Hey, we found a door. I'm surprised because both of the two paths were the same level range. So we didn't know for sure if this was the right path or not, but it was. Not like it matters. We have to full scout this place anyways by the end of the week. There's one funny thing about it. It's like whenever we get a perfect area, it's like, nice, we got a perfect area. But then by the end of the week, it's like, I'm just going to have to do them all anyways. It doesn't really matter ultimately. We're still going to have to come double back and go take them all. Especially in the earlier zones where they're so free to kill. Oh, did we just get it? Wait. Was that the triple kill? Wait. We were just talking about that. Did I just land a triple kill? Let me watch the replay of that real quick. Did I get a skull in all of that? Wait. It's about to come. Where is it? I think we just triple killed. What was that? We did that. Oh, wait, that is way far back. Wait, how is it not at the current battle? Oh, yeah, here's the one that it happened on. Wait. It's further back than I thought it was. Wait. I want to see what happened there. Did we actually land a triple kill? We're just talking about it. Let's see. Yeah, we did. We did. Wait. We just got the triple. We just rolled double 7%. Yeah. We rolled double 7%. Nice. That is indeed what happened. So we got a kill and then rolled 7% twice. Yeah, it's rare, but it does happen. Yeah, the thing that makes it really hard to get a quad kill off of it aka the triple 7%, is on top of needing to roll it 3 times, the entire enemy team also has to be alive. So for example, what we just got could have been a roll towards it, however, because we got a double 7%, but it couldn't roll a third 7% because there was no enemy to do it on. That's the other thing that makes it really, really hard to land triple insta-kill, is the entire enemy team has to be alive. So you can only ever trigger off your first kill. Because on your second kill, the best you could ever do is what we just did, a double 7%. Because there's not a final unit to go kill afterwards. Which makes it even harder to roll beyond just the odds of rolling it. This is only applicable to the first kill you do in a battle. Whereas getting a double can work on both the first and second kill that you do of a battle. Oh, we're finding a billion dead end rooms over here. Actually, unless this is a lantern march, you're not going to have enough to make it to the final room. Oh, double torch! We're just talking about that. Okay, now we can make it to the final room. Nice. On a few times when torch isn't horrifically bad. Because otherwise we would have been 1 room short. Actually, we still might be with this double path, because now we have to guess the right path. We'll go... I'll make a left. If it goes down here, I feel like this is the right way. If it goes left, left, down, this is probably the right path. But if it goes left, 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 or left, left, up, it's probably a treasure room. I'll find out one more battle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, if this goes down, I'm almost guaranteed it's a boss room. Left could also be a boss room. If it goes up, I'm pretty sure it's like guaranteed treasure room. I don't have any way of knowing until we get there, though. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I don't know. We'll find out if it's a boss room. This makes me think it's a treasure room, though. But it could still be a boss room. I got a splinter or something in my main finger earlier. I have no clue how. And it's so annoying because it's like the main finger I use for everything. It's been annoying me like all day. I have no clue how it even happened. I think I just ended up waking up with it. I think I might have like hit my headboard when I was sleeping or something. Oh wow, it is boss room. Okay. Yeah, it is in that boss room. Oh, I'll go take it. Is the spell of the week for the invasion troop more good for mana gain? Yeah, it's decent for it. It's a guaranteed amount of explodes. It's very similar to Toad Squeezer, except instead of having a gem explode and an enchant, it just has a consistent 2 to 3 explode. But yeah, it's basically more consistent Toad Squeezer, where it'll always do a small amount of explode, but it will always do the explode. The only big downside of it compared to Toad Squeezer, it doesn't have Impervious. Impervious was the main thing that's always made Toad Squeezer pretty notorious. But yeah, he's basically this alternative Toad Squeezer, where the explode is guaranteed, but he gets less value when he does do the explode. But not having Impervious is kind of one of the main reasons why this guy's ran, because he has immune to Freeze and Entangle, but most notably Freeze, as Goblins are of course exceedingly weak to Freeze. So having something on your team immune to freeze as a Goblin is really, really strong. Especially when they also have immune to stun and everything else. So I don't think it's going to replace Toad Squeezer in any 4x Goblin team. But for the event, yeah, it's pretty good. Aside from having to use it, it's a really good ability. It's just his trait setup is worse than Toad Squeezer. But his ability is very comparable to Toad Squeezer. This would guarantee explode at the cost of having slightly less value when it does it. Because generally speaking, this thing does more value when it does explode, but less value when it does enchant. Whereas the new troop that came out today is consistent in that it does less explodes overall, but it will always 100% of the time do explode. So you never need to worry about it missing, whereas you do need to worry about Toad Squeezer missing. Because sometimes they'll do like 2 or 3 enchants in a row and never explode. Whereas the one that came out today will explode 100% of the time. But when it does explode, it just does less value than Toad Squeezer. He's basically just Toad Squeezer. He's just more consistent ability Toad Squeezer with worse traits. Which is unfortunate. Because if he also had Impervious, that would have made him a lot more viable. But him just having immune to burn doesn't really do that much at all, unfortunately. So this trip probably won't be used that much in the future. Not that it's bad, it's just Toad Squeezer is generally going to be better. But for the event itself, it should be pretty nice, nonetheless. It's just a really good invasion troop compared to what we normally have access to for an event. Like, it's absurdly good for an invasion troop compared to the average invasion troop. Honestly, every game mode this week is so free. Invasion is free, Underspire is free. We got a Vault weekend to go get a bunch of free loot. It's like the chillest week ever as far as events this week. Like, every single thing is either absurdly easy to do or really great to go farm this week. So overall, yeah, really great start to the month as far as stuff that we have for it overall. But yeah, pretty great month overall. Anyways, anyone have any other questions? Any other anythings? Because, yeah, I think that's everything. We will be streaming this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll be covering a video on the Mythic on Friday morning at some point, hopefully in the morning. And yeah, we'll cover the Mythic then. Unfortunately, it's a pretty average one for Madonna. Might as well go show it real quick right now. Obviously, we can't show it, but we have this little thing over here. We go to troop spoilers. There's this one right here. It's an Adana brown, yellow, red. It's a dwarf mech. What's interesting is it is dwarf. The thing that's relevant about this, which I didn't even think about till just now, this Mythic is actually not useless for one reason. It is a really bad mech, but it is a really good dwarf. Oh yeah, I haven't had down another code. Let me go do that. I didn't notice that until just now. Wait, that's actually huge. Wait, this new Mythic is not useless. It's useless as a mech, but not useless as a dwarf. So you're never going to use it as a mech because you're just going to use Tina 9000 instead. But you're actually going to use this for Guild War. Like next Guild War in like 2 weeks from now. This is the next Guild War troop for 2 weeks from now. So what it does, it deals magic +4 damage, unfortunately physical, not true damage, and to 2 random enemies, boosted by allied mechs, unfortunately not dwarfs, and then summons 2 random mechs. So he has double resummon. You know how good that is in Guild War, double resummon? Just to make sure you don't end up losing. Like, this is such a good not lose troop. Not to mention the 50% mana start troop to dwarf has a resummon dwarf. So not only does your dwarf have resummon, the guy that will double stun and double poke, but this thing that also has triple poke will end up having a double mechs resummon. So you have 2 things on your team that have resummon. The 50% mana start you need for all your dwarves will summon a dwarf, and this thing will summon 2 mechs. So really, really good in that regard, and they're both physical damage, so they have synergy in that regard. Beyond that, the other traits don't really do much. A little bit of skull reduction, some bomb gems, and it does give a little bit of a buff to mechs, but it's nothing enough to justify using it. There's a little bit of an armor and attack buff to all mechs when matching for an extra turn. Biggest issue with this mech, no armor boost ratio, surprisingly. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't give it something, like Tina 9000 has, or Tesla pretty notoriously. But yeah, there's no armor scaling, unfortunately. Instead, it's scaled based on how many mechs you have on your team, which is not ideal. Really would have been nice if they gave us some kind of armor scaling ability and made it kind of like a triple shot Romaine instead of a split damage Romaine. But yeah, it's going to be really good for Dwarf. So for next Guild Wars, yeah, maybe worth considering. Like if you really want to bolster your next Guild War team, you'd want to get the Mythic from this Friday. Oh, Trippy Trading. You'd want to get the Mythic from this Friday and then next week, because we have an event for it right over here. Because this Friday, you would want to go get the new Dwarf Mythic, which is technically a Mech Mythic, but honestly, you're going to be using it for Dwarf way more than Mech. So you'll be using that to go get your Dwarf Mythic this weekend. And then on the following week, we have a Keyzale event in which we want to get the 50% Mana Star for Dwarf. and then boom, you're good to go for the Guild War. Wonder if they're going to start doing this more regularly. But yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row where you'll be able to get something for the Guild War. The Dwarf Mythic this Friday, and then the 50% mana start to Dwarves the following week. This being in Glory Gym Guild and VIP chests, and this one only being in event keys. But you can get all those during the Vault Weekend this weekend. So every single thing that you need to go get ready for Guild War can all be farmed this weekend on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which we'll be doing on stream every single night as well, around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Though I'm probably going to be prioritizing Explore 12. We'll probably still do some Paloozas and stuff, but I really got to do the token grind. We're not going to do like all of it on stream, but we'll still poke at it every single day on stream. See how much closer we can get. Where do you find a new troop spoiler since Terran's World closed? Oh, I'll go post the link real quick. But yeah, it's a Word document now. I think there's like a Discord bot for it too. But let me do it over here. Is this the correct link? I feel like isn't there a smaller link? Does anyone have the smaller link to get here? I can see if I click refresh here if it does it. Yeah, I can just post this into chat. But I'm not sure how you get a smaller link to get here. Is that right? That should be it. But yeah, there's the link for it. But yeah, it gets updated. I think it gets manual updated instead of auto updated. But yeah, has all the info for a lot of things. Doesn't have as many things as Terran World used to have, but still has a lot of the more relevant ones. The two biggest ones being troop spoilers, weapon spoilers, and pet spoilers. But it does have a few other features too, like be able to check all the troops in the game, weapons in the game, stuff like that. It doesn't have as many features as Terran's World and a few other things in the past, but it's still a pretty good resource. And the best thing we have these days as far as looking up stuff like that. It's not as visual as the other thing though, it's just like a big text dump overall of like what all of them do. That's still nice to have, better than nothing. Yeah, there's a Discord bot for it too. I like almost never use Discord, so I'm not too familiar with what the Discord bot does. But they're both pulling from the same info. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. We'll be back on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and continue to grind. We got Vault Weekend. We'll be grinding every day during Vault Weekend. And the main goal of next Vault Weekend is I do not want to leave next Vault Weekend without an upgraded Blackhawk. We can instantly, whenever we want, go get a permanent +1 attack bonus. And I've been putting it off. I need to go elite level 8 more troops from the kingdom. So we do not leave next weekend without 8 upgraded troops from Blackhawk being gold medaled, so that we can go and finally get that permanent +1 attack. Something we've been able to do for like a month or two now and just haven't bothered doing the grind. But this weekend, we are 100% finally finishing that grind. Also probably starting to work towards the Blade of Lands one too. Even though we don't need it immediately, I do want to start shipping at it, as that's the next kingdom we're going to be upgrading. We need a bit more purple deed books though. We're currently 18 purple deed books short. But, you know, give us some time. We'll get there in like a couple months. So it'd be nice to still preemptively start farming towards it. So when we do get there, we're already going to be ready to go. Because I want the thing to be bottlenecking us being the deed books, not the gold elite level troops. Because these can be infinitely farmed whenever, whereas deed books technically can't. Like they can, but the rate of infinitely farming them is absurdly slow. Whereas the rate of infinitely farming tokens is, you know, actually realistic to go to. When Rising Shadows procs, does this splash text on screen? Does it? I'm not sure if it does. I think it does. It'll show it over top your hero if it does. I don't think it shows it over top the troop you kill. It shows it over top the hero triggering it. Yeah, I don't remember if it does or doesn't. I haven't used it much lately. Because a lot of the hero classes that have a 7% insta-kill aren't really used much these days. They used to quite a bit more in the past. Particularly with Goblin teams, which is why we're using it this week. But, I don't know, aside from 4x Goblin teams, there aren't too many team comps that use any of the 7% insta-kill classes, as Archmages kind of replaced out the other purple one that used to be used. And between Elementals, Mech, and other stuff, there just isn't really as much of a need to use them these days. It's also really inconsistent. Like, you can't depend on that to be your win condition. Like, it's nice when it does, but you can't depend on it to make you win a battle, as it's just way too luck-based, which is another reason why it's not ran as much. Like, it makes for some really funny moments, but, its consistency is like near non-existent, so you can't really depend on it as a mechanic compared to a lot of other win conditions in the game, where it'll consistently work for you every battle, or something like that will work for you like once every like what 10 battles, roughly. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful week. I'll catch you guys later this weekend. Best of luck with the Vault grind. Best of luck with your week, and yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for watching.